I see your name everywhere, in every sound, in every shadow. I want to move on, but you're stitched into me. Why didn't you come back that night? Why didn't you fight? You didn't love me the way I loved you. You didn't break enough when I told you to leave. I didn't want you to leave. I wanted you to stay even when I push you away. That's what love is. And the truth is, I could have broken then. I could have responded. I could have apologized. I could have tried to comfort her. But that would have been the worst thing I could do for both of us, because nothing I said would heal her. It would only pull her further into the same cycle that destroyed us. So I stayed silent, which drove her deeper. She kept creating new accounts, as if each new username gave her a new version of reality she could try rewriting. She even messaged my new girlfriend, a woman named Claire, grounded, calm, steady in a way Avery never allowed herself to be, telling her to be careful because I was capable of emotional abandonment. Claire, bless her heart, didn't engage. She just showed me the message, kissed my forehead, and said, "You didn't do anything wrong." She's drowning in her own storm. Avery's family eventually reached out. Her brother told me she wasn't sleeping. Her mom told me Avery had convinced herself that I would eventually come back. Her father, the only one who ever had real clarity, told me, "You did the right thing. Leave me alone forever," she said. So I did. Now she's creating new accounts daily, writing novels about how much she misses me, and I swear I never imagined my life would turn into something that feels half like a documentary on digital obsession and half like a slow-motion car crash I can't stop watching even from a distance. My name's Ryan, I'm 31, and if you had told me 2 years ago that the woman I once thought I'd marry would end up stalking me across the entire internet with burner profiles that sound like Victorian love letters written by someone losing their grip on reality, I would have laughed and said you've been watching too many psychological thrillers. But here we are, and before anyone jumps to conclusions, no, I didn't break her heart intentionally, I didn't cheat, I didn't ghost, I didn't do anything except follow the exact command she screamed at me during one of the worst nights of my life. Leave me alone forever. Her name was Avery, 28, smart, warm, funny, and for a long time, genuinely loving, until her online support circle got involved. I put that in quotes because they didn't support anything except chaos, drama, and whatever got them the most comments under their TikTok group sessions or Reddit-like trauma threads. It started small, little shifts. I'd say something normal like, "Hey, can we talk about the dishes?" And she goes still, like she was scanning through a script someone else wrote for her, then say something like, "That feels like you're trying to control me. I need space." The first time she said that, I thought I'd somehow triggered some old wound or something. I apologized. I reassured. I softened my voice. But then I'd hear her phone buzz and she'd go into the bathroom for 20 minutes reading messages from her online friends. People who had never met her, never met me. People who lived for emotionally charged gossip because it was easier than dealing with their own lives. And each week, they pushed her further from reality. They told her everything I did was manipulation. They told her that when I asked about her day, it was monitoring. They told her that me wanting time together was relationship dependency, and that couples shouldn't spend too much time together or it becomes dangerously enmeshed. They diagnosed me with things they read in a tweet thread. They diagnosed her with things she didn't have. They saw villains everywhere, even where there weren't any. Before long, she believed them more than she believed her own experiences. And the worst part is that Avery wasn't stupid or malicious. She was just vulnerable in a way she didn't fully understand. She had a rough childhood, and she always felt like she needed external validation because her internal compass had been broken early on. These online friends filled that space and became her emotional GPS, except their directions all pointed toward cliffs. The breaking point came after months of escalating nonsense. She started recording our arguments secretly. Not just recording, editing, cutting out her yelling, cutting out her false accusations, cutting out her cursing and pacing in panic spirals, leaving only my tired voice saying things like, "Avery, please calm down," or "We can talk about this tomorrow." Then she sent those edited clips to her online group, and suddenly I became some emotionally cruel monster she needed to escape. Her friend, the ringleader, a girl named Lila who lived several states away, always with a new hair color and a new crisis, told her flat out, "You need to create distance. He's wearing down your self-esteem through subtle power plays." Mind you, the only thing happening at that time was Avery ignoring me all week and me saying, "Hey, can we have dinner together? I miss you." Then the group told her to set boundaries. Hard boundaries. Brutal ones. The kind that don't fix anything. They just cut everything to pieces. One night, out of nowhere, after a small disagreement over something stupid, like where to put the laundry basket, she shouted it, "Leave me alone forever." And she meant it. Her eyes were wild. Her voice was shaking. She was full of the kind of certainty that isn't actually certainty. It's adrenaline mixed with fear mixed with external pressure. So I did what she asked. I walked out the door. I left her alone. I didn't call. I didn't text. I didn't beg. I respected her boundary, literally word for word. And that's when everything really broke. Because the next morning, she expected me to come back crawling. She expected me to apologize. She expected me to ignore her exact instruction and do what the group told her a truly loving partner would do. When I didn't, she spiraled hard. The group told her my silence was emotional punishment and stonewalling abuse. They wound her tighter and tighter, like a toy, until she finally snapped. She blocked me on everything, deleted all our photos, texted my sister telling her I was emotionally dangerous, told her friends I was controlling, told her mom I was manipulative, told her co-workers I isolated her, which, ironically, was something they had done to her, not me, and I stayed silent, because she told me to leave her alone forever, and I meant it. But here's the thing. The moment I actually honored her request, she panicked. At first, she made new accounts to watch my social media, burn her Instagrams, fake usernames that still somehow sounded like her. Then she started sending long messages that didn't even sound like real writing anymore, like monologues written for an audience, not a real person. One account messaged me, "I forgive you for everything you did to me. I'm healing." Another, "You abandoned me when I needed you most. I hope someday you learn empathy." Another, "I know we're soulmates. I feel you everywhere." Another, "You ruined my life." And then, because obsession doesn't fade when it's fed by people rooting for chaos, she escalated. She started posting fictional stories online about our relationship, but she changed the details just enough that they sounded like real confessions from strangers. She made me into a villain in some posts and a tragic lost love in others. She called me emotionally distant. She called me obsessive. She claimed I had anger issues. She wrote a whole novella-length Reddit post about our breakup, pretending to be someone else, talking about my ex who abandoned me after I tried to set a healthy boundary. People sympathized with her. Others told her she needed therapy. Others told her to block me forever, which was funny, because she was the one creating 20 accounts to watch me. I stayed silent. I stayed away, for both our sakes. But she didn't stop. She reached out to my best friend with paragraphs about how she missed me and hated me at the same time. She messaged my cousin asking for closure. She emailed my old college professor. I still cannot explain that one. And then, when the online group finally got bored of her heartbreak content and moved on to someone else's drama, she fell into an even darker hole. She sent me messages that sounded nothing like the woman I loved, rambling, poetic, frantic, like she was writing in the dark at 3 a.m. Ryan, walking away. She doesn't need you. She needs help. She never got that help. She got louder instead. More accounts, more stories, more messages, more dramatic online posts written like diary entries from someone narrating their own heartbreak film. And yet, even through all the noise, all the drama, all the obsessive messages, the only sentence that ever mattered was the one that ended everything. Leave me alone forever. People say things they don't mean all the time. People lash out, panic, push away. But she didn't just say it. She weaponized it. She built her entire narrative on the idea that she wanted space from me. She wanted freedom. She wanted to reclaim her identity outside the relationship. She told everyone I was suffocating her, controlling her, monitoring her. So I gave her the one thing she said she needed: distance. Silence. Freedom. And she fell apart because it wasn't what she actually wanted. It was just what her online echo chamber convinced her she needed to prove she was strong. Here's what I've learned painfully through all of this. Some people don't want boundaries. They want loops, cycles they can repeat endlessly because it feels familiar. They want someone to chase them, so they don't have to face their own emptiness. They want villains, so they don't have to confront their own patterns. They want heartbreak because healing terrifies them. Avery didn't want me gone. She wanted me orbiting her like a planet, close enough to feed her drama, far enough not to challenge the narrative she built. But you can't spend your life revolving around someone else's chaos. And you can't set yourself on fire just so someone else can feel warm. I don't know if she'll ever stop making new accounts. I don't know if she'll ever stop rewriting the story to make me the villain, or the soulmate, or the ghost. I don't know if she'll ever find peace. I hope she does. I hope she finds something real and grounded, and outside the noise of strangers who thrive on other people's pain. But I do know one thing with absolute certainty. I honored her boundary. And sometimes the cruelest thing you can do to someone who lives for emotional chaos is simply nothing. Silence. Distance. Staying gone. And that's what she asked for. Forever.